Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel, and I have the displeasure of reporting that some XRP utility has just been destroyed, and it's due to politicians. Do you remember this headline from the end of July? This one's from you today, but this is getting covered all over crypto media. The headline is, Ripple, first version of Colombia's land registry debuts on XRP ledger in historic feat. And this is just a truly cool use case. This use case had been worked on for several years before it got off the ground at the end of July. Finally got off the ground. It was initially developed on Ethereum. The developers ended up switching over to the XRP ledger, and I'm willing to hazard a guess it has something to do with practically free transactions and blazing fast speed. So they ditched Ethereum, came on over to the XRP ledger, and the whole idea is to tokenize land so that you have immutable data. It's on the XRP ledger for everyone to see. And it did launch. It actually launched, and now it's dead, apparently. Regrettable. I'll explain what we know to this point, but before going further, I do want to be clear. I do not have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. I do want to make just a quick comment. I promise to not belabor the point here, but I do want to share something with you. If you've been following my channel over the last few days, you know I put out, I think it was three videos, where I was covering all the silliness surrounding people believing that XRP is being used in the Federal Reserve's FedNow program, which is it's launching mid next year, which is just for domestic payments. It's undeniably not true. The Federal Reserve has publicly stated that how they're going about settlement has nothing to do with XRP. So unless you think that the government's lying about how the settlement system works and you think that it's a hoax, which would be a conspiracy theory, and unless you say that, then the case is over. XRP is not getting used there. And so I point this out. Some people just refuse to believe it. I can't understand why, because it's not even questionable at that point. And yes, you can tie payment systems together utilizing XRP, but that was true before FedNow even existed. Nothing's changed. It's always been true, and Ripple's going for that. That has nothing to do with XRP being used domestically. Well, a lot of people ended up getting triggered, and there are some people that said that I and others that believe similarly are engaging in cancel culture, trying to shut people down. So people said this about me, and they said it about my fellow XRP YouTuber, Crypto Eddie. And somebody went so far as to insult Crypto Eddie, one of the nicest people in the community, most knowledgeable, actually went so far as to call her Crypto Karen. I can't tell you how insulting and rude and terrible and stupid that is. So I wanted to kind of set the people straight, the record straight here. For the people that think that sharing ideas is cancel culture, most people seem to not agree with you. Here's what I tweeted out just a few hours ago on this topic. I wrote, the people making claims about cancel culture in the XRP community are really just complaining about their ideas being challenged, even though they challenge ideas right back. No one is trying to silence anyone in the XRP community. Just let debates continue. It's healthy. I've been learning from debates in the XRP community since 2017. I love it. Most people are really open-minded and want to believe whatever is true. The problem comes when people get offended by ideas that are different than their own and become rude. But that's inevitable. So those are my two tweets on this topic. And so it's almost 0% of the XRP community, but the people that behave like that and they get all rude, they're noisier than the rest of the community, so it can feel like a lot all at once. So anyway, I just want to thank all of you, whether you agree with me or not, that's fine. I don't think less of you if you disagree with me. I mean, I'd be curious as to how you think XRP is getting used when the federal government already explained that they're using a Federal Reserve Bank master account for settlement because they're the trusted authority. You don't need an intermediary. You're not converting from United States dollars to a different currency, so you don't need a bridge currency even. But to anybody who thinks that makes sense, I'll still talk to you, as long as we're being respectful. I mean, I would be curious to hear from you if you actually disagree with me. That's a fun conversation. It's just, you got to be able to share ideas and while behaving like an adult and just not getting rude. Because nobody knows everything, including me. I don't pretend to, but on this point, I am certain. Because I don't believe that it's some conspiracy that XRP is secretly getting used domestically and the government's just lying to us about it. That doesn't even make sense. XRP getting plugged in would add friction. And so my fellow XRP YouTuber, King Solomon, he also retweeted what I shared there, and he responded to my tweet and wrote the following. It's shocking more don't try and challenge theories such as the global debt currently running on the XRP ledger. And he's got a little laughy emoji. And he said, disagreeing isn't cancel culture, it's due diligence. And so I responded by writing, I could not possibly agree more. Some people make truly extraordinary claims like that, and we're just supposed to not say anything about it? Absurd. And what he's referencing there is that there was a report on some XRP charts from Ripple's website showing like 352 trillion in 24-hour transactions on the XRP ledger, which was not even a glitch, but people were speculating that all global debt was being transferred to the XRP ledger. They're speculating about that, which is just silly. In reality, it just has to do with the way that field is calculated. It's kind of a useless metric, and I don't want to get into it really any further than that, but it just has to do with coins being launched on the XRP ledger, and then if you have like a quadrillion of them, and then you sell them for like X number of dollars, then you get these crazy high volumes, even though not nearly that much money is actually represented on the XRP ledger. It's not. That's really all it is. But is what it is. So hopefully this FedNow talk is going to be dying down. I'm kind of tired of talking about it finally. I think all that you can say on it is pretty much dead. So now let's get into the terrible news. From you today, Ripple. First version of Colombia's land registry debuts on XRP Ledger in historic feats. This is from the end of July. And I'll just be real quick and make sure I got the table set here. You can see that even Ripple X, which is the development arm of Ripple effectively, they were sharing this news. They worked with PeerSys technology to make this a reality. And here you can see on July 29th, they wrote, this is PeerSys. Excited to share that we just put into production the first version of the National Land Registry together with Agency Terras, which is National... I can barely speak English, so this is tough for me. National Land Agency? I don't know. Somebody that speaks Spanish, you just tell me in the comment section below. It's fine. And the support of Ripple to register the first adjudication resolution in Colombia on XRP Ledger. And so they showed the actual certificate, actual land tokenized on the XRP Ledger. And again, it's immutable. There's a bunch of benefits to this. It requires the usage of XRP, so that's a utility right there. And when I talked about this, I said, look, you never know if there's going to be staying power for stuff like this, but it's a neat idea. It clearly works, and hopefully it's going to persist because the Colombian government thought it was a good idea. And here is the actual transaction on xrpscan.com. It actually happened. It required XRP. Fantastic, neat use case, right? Well, unfortunately, not so much anymore. As was reported the other day, this is from Forbes, Ripple blockchain plans for Colombia real estate fail to get off the ground. And so I'll be clear at the outset, this isn't because the idea doesn't work or it's bad. There are individuals that have different motives, politicians in Colombia, that don't like this, apparently. And why? Well, you think about it. If it's on a public blockchain, like, you're giving up control, and for somebody that wants to be a control freak, probably a bad idea, but for people that just want open, honest communication on an immutable blockchain, it would be fantastic. So anyway, piece reads as follows. 2 weeks before newly elected President Gustavo Petro was sworn to the highest public office in Colombia, the previous administration's Ministry of Information Technology and Communications announced it would be recording land titles on Ripple Labs' XRP Ledger in conjunction with software development from PeerSys Technology. So I have to note, obviously, I'll pause right here, I have to note that it is not Ripple Labs' XRP Ledger. This person doesn't know what they're talking about on that front. It's just the XRP Ledger. Ripple does not have any special permissions over it. Anyway, piece continues. Colombia spent 52 years racked by a civil war that only ended in 2016, and inequitable distribution of property was one of the key issues. Real estate records were poorly kept, and a transparent blockchain system of verifying property rights seemed like just the thing to build a firm foundation for land ownership. Yeah, it was a good idea. But the change in government brought a change in policy, and the project appears to be going nowhere. Juan Manuel Noruega Martinez, interim director of the National Lands Agency, there you go, that's what it is, it's National Lands Agency, that's kind of close, right? Tells Forbes that the project is not part of the agency's strategic priorities for 2022. This isn't one of the projects defined in the PETI, which is Strategic Plan for Information Technologies, he added in written statement in Spanish. And so that's what happened. There's a change in regime here, and they don't like what the previous administration was doing, so they're just killing it, which is unfortunate for XRP holders and those supporting the XRP ledger. Piece continues. It's very possible that the project is now politically dead, says Mauricio Tovar, co-founder of Blockchain Colombia, a community of crypto and blockchain entrepreneurs and academics in Colombia. So it's regrettable to report. I mean, in theory, there's a chance that it could come back, but what a step. It's like people on their own, they're coming to the conclusion that the XRP ledger is functionally highly useful. It's just disappointing to see something like this happen, but it is what it is. So such a bummer. This is something I was looking forward to monitoring in the coming months and years, but womp womp. Luckily, the XRP ledger still is just oozing utility, effectively. I mean, it's oozing, like it's pussy and gross. It's oozing so much. Is what it is. All right, I'm going to wrap up there. I am not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say, all right? So that would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.